human beings are, in the physical sense of human beings, we've got to recognize that humility is, the power of humility is about being vulnerable. The power of humility is about being vulnerable. Is to recognize that we require food, water, rest. There's no shame in that. That's part of the physical form. The aqua lung that you go underwater, it needs to be pumped, it needs to be valves, greased, whatever it is. Scuba suit needs to be oiled, whatever it is. There's no shame in that. So part of the unreceptivity is the failure to actually acknowledge your vulnerability. And we have so much of judgment against our humanness, it's not funny. Not funny. Do you know how powerful you need to be vulnerable? You have to be very powerful to be vulnerable. You must be very secure. And I live what I teach. Like, for example, I'm coming from Santon. I'll send out a message. Which way are you coming from? Can I get a lift? Is it easy for you? Not to force myself on anybody, but is it convenient? If it's inconvenient, not part of the flow, I won't do it. I'll flow it in a way that will work. But I won't say, no, I got to get there myself. I mustn't ask people for a lift. What does it look like about me? What are you? And that's why you want to take responsibility. That it's my unreceptivity that has kept me in hell in this world. And if I continue this, I'll go to hell in the next. I mean it.
Amen.
The way you are now, what happens after your death is the same. It's just you don't have a body in a vibrational state. So if you're in heaven in this world, you'll be in heaven in the hereafter. If you are in hell now, you'll be in hell in the hereafter. It's just bodiless experience. That's all it is. I'm not begging.
No, I'm looking at it.
I was okay if I was begging, but I wasn't begging.
No, but you see,
Can you see what a great teacher I am for you? If I was doing the otherwise, I wouldn't be teaching you.
Yes.
I'm teaching you how to be humble. I'm teaching you how it works. See how powerful you have to be. No, it was judging yourself. It was that you wouldn't allow yourself to be vulnerable. You wouldn't allow yourself to make requests. You wouldn't allow yourself to receive. Remember, as long as you don't demand or force anything from it, you can ask anybody for anything. So the idea behind a request, firstly, is first thing, be inspired by what you want when you're asking for it. Don't come from desperation.
Be inspired.
Worst comes worst, I'll just call a cab and come down. There's no problem. There's plenty taxis available, whatever it is. I can do that. But why would I do that? Expend more energy than is necessary. If there is, and it so happens she was available. It always flows. It always flows because I'm not coming from need and lack. I'm not coming from desperation. I'm not desperate when I'm asking. I know I'll get there one way or another, which is the flowing way. Let's find out. And then I get... So I always ask from inspiration for what I want, not desperation of what I don't want. Insecurity, fear, that's where you're going to start controlling people and say, you have to help me, and if you don't help me, I can't do without you. Then it comes back to, I need you. That means I'm then associating partners with God. I don't need anybody. So become aware that whenever you make a request, first thing is you must always be inspired when you're asking for what you want. And secondly, you must respect the person, and there must be no element of force in there. If it's okay if it is, it's okay if it's not. Because if it's forced, it doesn't serve both people. It's not. Now, for example, the way it happened was, I came with Khadija. Now, at least she got 1 hour of the support group. So there's benefit for her.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it wasn't forced. She was happy to benefit. Otherwise, she'd still be there working, whatever it is, and all that sort of thing, right? So I spent a night by you Thursday night. Was there benefit for you?
Absolutely.
Benefit for me. You see? So it wasn't, I'm coming here, a drain onto you, whatever. It's mutual happiness, mutual support. You get the gift of giving, you get the gift of receiving. There's no strain, there's no struggle, there's no pressure. See? So inspired by what you want and respecting the other individual and leaving the options completely open, no attachment. It's fine if you can, it's fine if you don't. I say no stress, don't worry, as one way or another. Don't feel obliged, don't feel strained. If it's part of the flow, it's fine. If it's not part of the flow, that's fine too. My flow will go another way. Remember, what is your highest value? What is your highest value? If you're saying other people's being pleased with me is more better than me finding my own ease, what's your highest value? If you say, I can't come to a support group because I can't spend 250 Rand, you're making money more important than you're making something. So that brings us back to what you're attached to. What have you made your God? You see? What have you made your God? So even with me, I'll come down, I flew here. I don't care how much money comes out of it, doesn't come out of it, because it's flowing. Now if I had to come in, book a car, hire the thing and do that, it's going to create strain for me, and then I'm not going to come down and do support groups because I'm going to tell you it's not working out feasible. But if my highest value is my ease, and I'm prepared to make requests to support my ease, it will be fine. So I say, Maznuna, I'm coming through. Can you do, is the room still available? If she says, no, I've got somebody around, I say, fine, Vimal, But because I'm doing this, I was here, I said, let me stay by you. But Vimal is like, I'll pick you up at the airport, I'll do this for you. I got Sharifa sent the driver, so a big car came and picked me up, the driver was, so I'm getting shuttled around, supported easy, that I can come here and support you. I don't have to charge you 500 Rand for my time or 1,000 Rand. I can charge you 250 Rand. Carry on like that. So it's mutual support. I'm supporting my ease and your ease in doing that. Otherwise I take the prices up and then nobody's happy and strain for everybody.
Stress vibration.
Exactly.
Stress and strain.
So I'm supporting my ease. And that's a great thing that I'm doing. You see, so bring us back that own your own unreceptivity. That your life is low frequency, or wherever there's difficulties in your life, is not because God or somebody else gave you those hardships. It's because of your own unreceptivity. You haven't participated in a way honoring yourself and your ease, your love, your joy, your satisfaction, your fulfillment. I will not interact with people that I don't feel comfortable with. I will not. Not that I am resisting it, but doesn't serve me. You see, if I spoke to you, I text you up and down, and I got a vibe that I don't want you here, I'll tell you, what, this might not be the right place for you. Start at a seminar, start somewhere, I'll get a CD or something. But I'm always checking, who do I want to have in my space? Does it serve me? Is it, instead of having somebody here says, but you're talking nonsense, having a debate with me, I can do all that, but doesn't serve me in my joy. So I'm able to make requests. I'm also able to say no to things that are not going to serve my highest values. Like you said to the people, I didn't know you were coming. I'd like to chat with you, but I'm just busy now. Maybe we can set something up for another time. I'm sorry for your inconvenience. Finished. So that is receptive now. Now you're demonstrating receptivity. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Because what does it mean? Somebody will say, we came all the way to your house and you chased us away.
Absolutely.
What attitude this woman got? Man, we're never going there again. Do you understand? Vulnerability. Can you allow you? It takes a very powerful person to be vulnerable. To be able to say, I'm here, I'm a human being. And I got to do what I got to do for me. If I don't do this learning business that we're doing here, it's going to compromise my life, and I can go down that road, but I don't want to go down that road. You see? So humility is very important on this path. Not to feel ashamed of your humanness. Not to feel ashamed of your needs and making requests. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in it. To say I require something, or I'm unavailable for something because I'm getting myself attended to, whatever it is humility. So that's the next part I was getting to, but you were saying something? You see, that's why you must focus on what the experience will be like. So this would be easy, this would be enjoyable. You've got to come from the feeling match of what you want, then you request. You see, that will guide you to ask after. You must know the value. Like if you say, I'm here with my people, we're doing blissful living, it's valuable to me. You know the value. Then you can say to people, I'm not available, this, that.
But give me a call when I'm ready and you're ready. I'm more than willing to
I'm happy to do that.
More than willing.
You see, so vulnerability, the power in vulnerability, the power in humility. Humility, human. See? We are allowed to have needs. We are allowed to require support in fulfillment of our needs, our preferences. To support yourself in improving your life is not a bad thing. And if you can't be available to somebody else because you are got to do something for yourself, it's not a bad thing. See, you don't have to feel embarrassed or shamed or like you don't care about others. You got to care for. Said another way, caring for yourself. There's no shame in caring for yourself. Moving your life forward is not a bad thing. It's a healthy thing, etc., etc. But the point that you made is what I want to talk about next, which is I'm a human being, and it's okay that I create unfortunate experiences, or it's okay that I create this because I don't know any better. Instead of judging yourself, it's okay that I have been unreceptive all these years because nobody taught me. I'm a human being. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not know. It's because if you make it okay to not know, that's when you can learn. If you don't make it not okay to not know, you will never learn. It's good because that's now going beyond denial and self-deception. The addict is waking up to the reality. See, it's a great thing. I went through that too. So understand that I didn't come in with all this knowledge. When I asked my clients for payment initially, it was very hard for me to ask people for payment. But I had to ask because I need to pay bills. Exactly. Value myself. See, so, but what we were speaking of was that it's okay to not know. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fail yourself while you are. It's all right, because the way we hear them speaking in the religious places, like it's not okay to be a sinner. You should be very worried, and you must always be perfect, and you must never get things wrong, and all that sort of thing. So when you understand it's okay to get things wrong, it's okay to not know. It's part of the human experience. It's okay to flop up. It's okay that you made mistakes. It's okay that you're creating unpleasant experiences for you, even horrible ones. It's okay. That okayness is what leads you to security. See, so the power, it's okay that I didn't know any better. I didn't know that I was depriving myself of the support of God. I was depriving myself of being dependent on life itself or God itself. I was dependent on me. I was in ego power. I was whispered to. The voice of fear whispered that all I am is this body. I'm not a vibrational being. And I bought into it and I spent my whole life depending on me. It's okay. It's okay that I have projected power out. It's okay that I made money, somebody's love, my parents, my children, the thing that my happiness depended on, or my security. It's okay that I have done that. It's okay that I projected power outside. It's okay that I created for me a dissatisfying, pathetic experience of life. It's okay that I did that, because people say, but how can I do that? I can't forgive myself. So it's about releasing judgment, self-judgment. And that's why, as I've released judgment against myself, I can release judgment against others. So when you tell me something like, Ashraf, I look down upon you because if I didn't tell you get out, because it's my own allowance of myself that I can allow you, but I'm teaching you to ask. You didn't want to learn. So you see, the love and support of the universe is always there. No matter how you push it out, it'll always keep coming in. But you'll keep pushing it out, and because you push it out, you deprive yourself of the love and support. So the idea about allowing your vulnerability is that you begin to become receptive. You stop the judgment which blocks love. Judgment is love blocked, results in shame. So there's a release of self-judgment or judgment against yourself. This in me is not acceptable. Me being needy, me being a beggar is not acceptable. I'm okay if I'm a beggar. I'm not, but if I was, I'm okay. I wouldn't judge myself. Quite clearly she has a problem if she was a beggar. Now what does that mean? She'll spend her whole life focusing on, I don't want to be a beggar, I don't want to be a beggar.
She'll be one.
She'll end up being a beggar.
She'll be one, yeah.
You see? And she'll prevent herself from being prosperous. Instead of saying, if I wear one, I'm okay with it. But I'm not that. By being okay with it, you take your focus off it completely. I remember this couple I worked with once, that they were in a business, a factory. And they said to me, every month we just make the payments, we never prosper. And she says, now I understand why. I said, why? She says, when you said whatever you're focusing on, what you resist will persist and intensify. We always never wanted to be broke. We never wanted to go bankrupt. We just didn't want to go bankrupt. We were resisting going bankrupt. We never were prosperous because we didn't want to be bankrupt. Instead of saying, it's okay if we were bankrupt, but we'd like to be prosperous. It's like a woman saying, I don't want to be in a relationship that's ugly. I don't want to be in a relationship. Instead of saying, if I was in one, that'd be okay. I'm not interested in that. I'm actually interested in a thriving one. So the focus that people have, that they judge, the experiences that they don't want to be, the things that they don't want to be, they end up judging in themselves, and that sets a limit that they can't go beyond that. If you're saying, I don't want to be homeless, you spend your whole life paying rent, or you might end up being homeless, or best case scenario, you'll pay rent, but you'll never own your own home. See, the fear of, I don't want to be homeless, you end up paying rent, but you never own your own home. Best case scenario, you never own your own home. When you say, I don't want to be a beggar, best case scenario, you'll never be prosperous. Worst case scenario, you actually end up being a beggar. I just want you to see what you're creating. My focus takes me there. My focus takes me there. Just become aware that my focus takes me there. That's all. I focused on not being in lens, I'm there. I focused on, I'm there. My focus takes me there. That's all you need to know. And then you can begin to start focusing on what you want to have and go there.